I guess most of your inquisitiveness about the mysterious giant black holes was satisfied in the previous session. And here we start the second session of the day. Many a times you're confused whether to take jobs or make jobs. Well, the upcoming session will definitely help us take a correct decision. May I now invite Dr. B. Mohan Kumar to enrich us with his wisdom on startups and entrepreneurship. So,
good afternoon, everybody. Respected faculty members and my dear friends. It's actually a great honor for me to be here today after about 30 years. Most of you in the introductions also were not given the background. Let me start up by telling that I was a student of this very institute 30 years ago at passed out. It gave me a lot of goosebumps because in those days we did not have these events called Banker and so on. We had two technical societies. One was the engineering society, the other was the institutional engineers. And we used to have technical seminars, and once in a while we used to screen technical movies, because those days you had no YouTube or no internet, nothing was there. And it also gave me a lot of pleasure to see a lot of enthusiastic among you attending on a Sunday, because those days we used to have these events on probably a Friday evening, or Saturday was a half working day. So Friday or Saturday evening we used to have this movie session. We used to have high tea, and in spite of that we would not have more than 12 to 15 people attending the events. So that was the thing. But life was something very different those days. And life also took me 30 years across industries, across countries, across different domains, virtually a lot of things. So today I have a lot of things to cover. What I will try to do is I will try to cover the theoretical aspects of entrepreneurship, startups, and so on now. And then I will also leave a lot of open Q&A session for you to ask. You see, there are certain things, unlike say after the heavy session on black hole and so on, a lot of theoretical things. These are areas which are not very well defined. So you all will have a lot of confusion, a lot of apprehensions, a lot of perceptions about what is to be done. Maybe as a career or as a businessman or whatever it is. Please feel free to ask, because see, there are many things you should ask when you are in college. I remember those days when the first year your workshop is compulsory, right? So you do go to the workshop, you work on the lathe and so on. So some of us would be there, and some of us would try to put the feed, speed tool, some of us would not understand. So those workshop instructors, I'm talking about 1980, they used to tell us, see, now it's time for you to ask everything, because tomorrow you guys will go, join the industry, become a manager, and then you cannot go and ask the worker, how do you do this? Because you have already, or mentally you are at a different plane. You would not like to go and ask the worker, how is it to be done? So you miss out an opportunity. That's what I'm trying to say. Even though asking is a good thing, but as human beings, we try to restrict ourselves. We do not ask some of those very fundamental questions which we think are very fundamental, and we feel what the others will think. Life is a very learning process. Last 30-35 years, I have been continuously learning not only engineering, humanities, psychology, sociology, I mean, a variety of subjects, including quite a lot of things on the computer and related areas. I will walk you through that possibly if I end up the topic if you get time. So now let me start off by trying to flip the whole topic. Today the topic given to me was startup and entrepreneurship. Right? Now I will put it this way. Actually, it should be, let me do one thing. Cover the first half of the talk on what is entrepreneurship and so on. And then I will talk about startups, because startups and entrepreneurship are to some extent connected and to some extent not even connected. Okay, now what is entrepreneurship? Now, each of you, when you pass up, see, today what has happened is some of these words have taken a new meaning. So everyone feels great to say, I'm starting up, I'm an entrepreneur. Basically, what happens is, when you are about to pass out, you plan what do you want to do next. Some people might say, okay, I have a family business, so let me start a business. Right? Now, those people used to say, I'm going to join the family business or going to do a business. Some would say, I'm going to take a job, work in a 9 to 5 job, whatever. It's a full-time job they're going to do. So what is this concept of entrepreneurship? What is it that is different from starting a business? You can always say that you are starting a business. I mean, it could be a shop or a workshop, or it could be, let's say, a mobile design or a mobile manufacturing unit, or anything. It's a unit. So you're starting. What is it so unique in entrepreneurship which distinguishes it from a business or joining a business or starting a business, and what is it slightly different from obviously a secure job? See, first you must try to understand, or first you must try to see what are your basic personal qualities. So for an entrepreneur, one of the most important thing that is required is there must be self-drive. See, there is nobody who will tell you that you must get up in the morning, you must go, and then you have to sign up. Entrepreneur has to be self-driven. So if you think that you have the ability, that you get up in the morning on your own without being woken up, you try to do something which need not be part of your daily routine, but you do something on your own. That means you have fire in the belly. You take initiative to do on your own. It could be anything. Even organizing an event, it requires initiative. Somebody has to think about it. Somebody has to visualize how the event has to be organized, how it is to be conceptualized, how the flow of each of the activity has to happen. That is where, if you think that you have those skills, possibly entrepreneurship is one of those avenues that you can take up. And so, initiative is one of the most important things. You must be self-driven. Another thing for an entrepreneur which distinguishes him from a typical person who wants to do business is he or she would be creative. That means he would try to think of something very new. The business, it's an existing business, or let's say somebody wants to start an automotive business. There's already a business running, there's a business model. You also replicate and you start it up. So that's a business. An entrepreneur is something who actually goes into uncharted territory. He opens up a new vista. Like today, maybe 5, 7 years, 8 years ago, if somebody told you, there is a website where you go there, put all your thoughts there, and then somebody else puts his thoughts there, and then it keeps on going down, many other will say, so what? And it's a website, so it's something like a blog, you write, and then you put some, maybe post if you have the rights to write on that, and then it keeps going. Nobody really, but then, what is Facebook? Facebook is something where, how it got created. So there was a person who thought, no, I think I will be able to engage people. And he could visualize. He was very creative. So if you take, for that matter, Google. So it was typically a simple search engine. And if you all remember, in the initial days, Google was not even the first search engine. It was the Ask Me and the Yahoo and Yahoo Answers, and those were the search engines. Google was nowhere there. Then they conceptualized and they thought, what could be different? And today, anything on the frontier of technology, it's the Google which is there. So, and what they do, they think people, or they take people who are creative. Now, having said all this, and what I explained to you are the attributes, typical attributes for an entrepreneur. Now, entrepreneurship does not necessarily mean that you have to start up your own. Even companies have groups within them, within the company, and they call it as entrepreneurship. That means, basically what happens, as I told you, you need to have self-drive, you must have motivation, you must be creative. Now there are large companies where they allow people to work 20-30% of their time, of your employed time in your pet projects. You can create something and then you can do something on your own. So that is what is called as entrepreneurship. That means they give you the freedom to do whatever you want to do, which could be productive. So entrepreneurship, that is why I said entrepreneurship and startup are in some places connected and in some places not connected. You can also be an entrepreneur in your own employment. You can do something very creative. You can change the whole sequence of process. You can create a new process, or you can even create a small center of excellence within your organization. That also is possible. That is what an entrepreneur can do. Need not be that he has to have money, he has to start up and so on. Now, the next question people would ask is, if you are to be an entrepreneur, when should you start? Should you work for a couple of years and then you should? Because you have some dreams. Each of you in the college, you do some projects and then you think, maybe. See, because most of us read a lot of inspirational stories of people who have succeeded. Okay, statistically, if there are 1,000 people who have started off, only 2 would have succeeded. Okay, and 998 would have failed. And we never get to read those 998. We read only the 2, 3, and each of us try to correlate and see, oh, if he has done, why not me also? Good. But what happens in this is, when you are trying to do that, you try to see what are the strengths, what are you wanting to do. And each one of us, see, unfortunately, what happens is, in the startup entrepreneurship, everyone wants to become a Mark Zuckerberg or something in the next 2 years or 1 year. And the media is also such that they project some of these successes and they make too hyper on that, saying that so and so company raised $1 billion, $1 billion, first round of funding has come with only 3 people. WhatsApp got acquired at so and so price. So there is a lot of hype, like the Bollywood types, right? So there's a lot of air in that. There's a lot of quality work which actually happens, which are not reported. So the answer to the question that when should you become an entrepreneur? One is you can become any day. It need not be that you need to pass out, and there are people who are very creative, who have the initiative. They can be entrepreneurs even while studying. I mean, in the final year, 4th year, 3rd year, you are trying to do something which is also adding value to you. But at the same time, it is. But one of my advice would be, when you are trying to do anything as an entrepreneur, if you think that yes, you want to do something and want to make a lot of money, I think somewhere down the line you have taken the wrong track. Because ultimately, if that is going to be the objective, it will leave a lot of bitter taste and you will not be able to complete what you wanted to start. So entrepreneur is a person who is very passionate. Suppose you are very passionate about some technology, very high technology, and you are immersed. Don't look at what will happen, whether you will make money out of making a business out of it. Stick to it. There will be people who will come along the way, help you out, put it up as a business if it requires, or put it up as something and then you will be able to move ahead. So,